English Out Loud podcast.
Your daily practice for natural English. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Speak English Out Loud, your place to learn real English through real conversations. I'm Maya.
And I'm Tom. And Maya, before we start today, I have to tell you something embarrassing.
Oh, good. I love embarrassing Tom stories.
Last night, I was trying to decide what to have for dinner, and I spent 45 minutes, 45 actual minutes, looking at the menu on a food delivery app.
45 minutes on dinner.
Yes, I made a pros and cons list in my head. Thai food versus pizza. Pizza versus sushi. Sushi versus just cooking something at home. And then I thought about whether cooking at home was healthier, and whether I had the right ingredients, and whether I was being lazy by ordering anyway.
Tom,
What?
what did you eat?
Toast.
You spent 45 minutes thinking and ate toast.
The app closed while I was still deciding.
Okay, well, welcome to today's episode, because that story, that very sad toast story, is the perfect example of what we are talking about today.
Overthinking. Thinking so much that in the end, you don't move. You don't decide. You just stand still and eat toast.
And we are not just talking about dinner. We are talking about the big things too. Starting a business, learning a new skill, having a difficult conversation, applying for a job, leaving something that isn't working.
All the things that matter. All the things that need action. All the things that overthinking quietly kills before they ever begin.
Quick note, this is a B1 level episode. That means intermediate English. If you are a beginner, just stay with us. You will understand much more than you expect. And if some words are new, that's good. That's learning.
And if this episode is useful to you, please like and subscribe. It genuinely helps more people find this podcast. Every like matters to us.
Also, leave a comment after you listen. Tell us, what is one thing you are overthinking right now? Just one thing. You don't have to solve it. Just name it.
And stay until the end, because we have our word tour, where we slow down and walk through today's most important vocabulary with simple examples you can actually use.
Okay, let's start with a real question. What is overthinking? And I don't mean the dictionary answer. I mean, what does it actually feel like?
For me, it feels like a browser with too many tabs open.
Oh, say more.
You know when your computer slows down because you have 30 tabs open at the same time? Some of them you haven't looked at in hours. Some of them are playing videos you forgot about. And the whole thing is just running hot and going nowhere.
Yes, I know exactly that feeling.
That is my brain when I overthink. Too many thoughts running at the same time. Too many questions without answers. Too many possible futures all competing for attention at once.
And the thing about overthinking, and this is what makes it so sneaky, is that it feels like work. It feels like you are doing something.
Yes, that's exactly it. You sit there thinking for 2 hours and you feel exhausted, like you did something. But you didn't produce anything. You didn't decide anything. You just tired yourself out.
It's like a car with the engine running but no wheels moving. The engine is burning fuel. It's making noise. It's working hard. But the car is not going anywhere.
And you step out after all that engine noise and someone asks, "Where did you go?" And the answer is, "Nowhere. I just sat in the driveway for 2 hours with the engine on."
So overthinking is not thinking deeply. Real deep thinking leads somewhere, to a decision, an insight, a plan. Overthinking goes in circles. You end up in the same place you started, but more tired.
And the really dangerous thing? The longer you stay in that loop, the more normal the loop feels. After a while, your brain starts to believe, this is just how I am. I'm an overthinker. That's my personality.
But it's not your personality. It's a habit. And habits, as we know, can be changed.
So why do we overthink? Because I think it's important to understand this. Not to make excuses, but to actually fix it. You can't fix something if you don't know what's causing it.
Exactly. So let's go through 3 real reasons.
Reason number 1, fear dressed up as thinking.
Oh, I love that phrase. What do you mean?
When we overthink, we tell ourselves we are being careful, being responsible, being smart. We are considering all the options. We are making sure we don't make a mistake.
And that sounds reasonable.
It sounds very reasonable. But most of the time, if you look honestly at what you're actually doing, you're not analyzing. You're worrying. You're running worst-case scenarios. You're imagining failure. You're protecting yourself from a painful future by not moving toward it at all.
Fear in a thinking costume.
Exactly. I had this when I wanted to start recording videos. For months, I told myself, I'm still preparing. I'm still researching. I'm still learning. But if I'm honest, I was scared. Scared of looking stupid. Scared nobody would watch. Scared of the comment section.
And the thinking was just a way of staying still while pretending you were moving.
Yes, and the cruel part is, the preparation never felt finished. Because it wasn't actually preparation. It was fear with a to-do list.
Fear with a to-do list. That is a sentence our listeners should write down.
Reason number 2, the perfectionism trap.
Yes, this one got me for years.
What happened?
I wanted to improve my English speaking, and I had this idea that I needed to get everything right before I opened my mouth. Perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, perfect vocabulary, perfect accent.
So you waited until you were perfect to start speaking.
Which meant I never really started. Because you don't get perfect before you practice. You get better through practice. The perfect comes from the doing, not before it.
There's a phrase I love for this. The first pancake is always bad.
Yes. When you make pancakes for the first time, the very first one is never good. Too thick, not cooked properly, a strange shape. But you don't throw away the pan. You try again.
And the second one is better. And the third better still. And by the 6th pancake, you're a pancake master.
But only if you are willing to make the first bad one. Perfectionists don't make the bad first pancake. They stand in the kitchen reading recipes for 2 years, waiting to feel ready.
And they go hungry.
They go hungry. Exactly.
Reason number 3, too many options, too little clarity.
Oh, this is a modern problem more than ever.
Yes, think about how many choices we have today compared to 30 years ago. Which app, which platform, which course, which method, which teacher, which diet, which career path. The options are essentially infinite now.
And here is what research actually shows about this. More choices don't make people happier. More choices make people more anxious. Because every extra option is also an extra opportunity to make the wrong choice.
So instead of choosing, you scroll, you research, you compare. You watch 5 more YouTube videos. You ask 7 different people for their opinion. And the decision never gets made.
It's like being in a restaurant with a menu that is 200 pages long. You flip through it for 45 minutes and end up ordering what you always order because it felt safe.
Or in my case, you end up with toast.
Or toast. Okay, I want to talk about something that the original script touched on but didn't really go deep enough with. The real cost of overthinking.
Because I think people underestimate it. They think, oh, I just think too much. It's not hurting anyone.
But it is. Let me tell you something personal.
Please.
I spent 2 years thinking about starting this podcast. 2 years of maybe next month, maybe when I'm more ready, maybe when the timing is better. What if people don't like it? What if my English isn't good enough to teach English?
That last one is very ironic.
Very. And the worst part is, those 2 years are gone. That's 2 years of learning I didn't do. 2 years of connections with listeners I didn't make. 2 years of improving a skill by actually using it. Just gone. Into the thinking loop.
So the first real cost is time. And time is the only thing you cannot get back.
The second cost is confidence. And this is the sneaky one. Every time you decide not to act, your brain registers that as evidence. Evidence that the thing was too hard. Evidence that you can't do it. Evidence that waiting was the right choice.
And over months and years, those small non-decisions build into a story about yourself. I'm the kind of person who doesn't take risks. I'm the kind of person who plays it safe. I'm the kind of person who isn't ready yet.
And then that identity becomes a cage. A very comfortable cage, but a cage.
The third cost, and this one surprised me when I first heard it, is other people.
What do you mean?
When you stay stuck in your head, the people around you don't get your best self. Your partner, your friends, your team, your students. They get the version of you that is distracted, anxious, half present, always somewhere in the future, running scenarios that haven't happened.
Yes, overthinking steals you from the present. And the present is where your life and the people in it actually are.
Okay, the most important part. What do we actually do about it?
And I want to say something before we go into the steps. These are not magic. They won't fix everything overnight, but they are real tools that real people use, and they work if you use them consistently.
Tool number 1, the 2-minute decision rule.
Explain this one.
For small decisions, anything that won't matter in 3 years, give yourself exactly 2 minutes to decide. Set a timer if you need to. When the timer goes off, you commit to whatever feels most right in that moment.
Because most small decisions are not actually important enough to deserve 45 minutes. The food order, the outfit, the email subject line. Your brain is treating these like life or death choices when they are not.
And the interesting thing is, research shows that quick decisions on low-stakes things are usually just as good as slow ones. Your gut knows more than you think.
Your gut knows more than you think. That's a good sentence.
Tool number 2, name the fear.
Yes, when you notice yourself going into the thinking loop, stop and ask, what am I actually afraid of right now? Not what am I thinking about? What am I afraid of?
And write it down. Because fear that lives only in your head grows in the dark. It gets bigger and vaguer and more frightening. But when you write it down, when you give it specific words, it usually shrinks.
I do this and it amazes me every time. In my head, the fear feels enormous and shapeless. On paper, it says something like, I am afraid that people will think my English accent is strange. And when I see it written down, I think, that's it? That's what's been stopping me?
Because in the light, most fears are smaller than they looked in the dark.
Tool number 3, take the smallest possible action right now.
Not the plan, not the full commitment, just the tiniest possible first step.
Because action doesn't just produce results. Action produces clarity. When you are thinking about something, all you have is your imagination, which tends to be pessimistic and dramatic. When you start doing the thing, reality replaces imagination, and reality is almost always less scary.
I call this the opening move. In chess,
You don't need to plan the whole game before you make the first move. You just move one piece, and then the board changes, and you respond to the new board.
And life is like that. You can't think your way to clarity about something you haven't started. You have to start to see clearly.
Tool number 4. Separate thinking time from doing time.
Oh, this is practical. Tell us.
Most overthinkers mix thinking and doing together. They're trying to work while still deciding whether to work. They're mid-task and suddenly spiraling about whether the task even matters. It creates constant noise.
So the solution is to separate them completely. Give yourself a specific block of time, 10 or 15 minutes, where you are allowed to think, plan, worry, consider all the options. Give it everything.
And when the time is up, you close that chapter. You don't revisit it. You move to doing. And in the doing time, thinking about it is not allowed. You can only act.
This sounds simple, but it is genuinely powerful because your brain learns there is a time for thinking, and that time is over. Now we move.
Tool number 5, and this one is maybe the most important. Let go of the idea that there is one perfect choice.
The paralysis of options comes from the belief that somewhere out there is the perfect decision, and if you think hard enough, long enough, you will find it.
But there is almost never a perfect choice. There are several good enough choices, and any of them, executed well and with commitment, will lead somewhere worthwhile.
A good decision made today is worth more than a perfect decision made never.
Yes, a slightly wrong path that you actually walk down is better than the perfect path you never stepped onto.
Our mission for today is simple and a little uncomfortable, which means it's probably exactly what you need.
Think of one thing you have been overthinking. One thing that keeps circling in your head without moving forward. You probably already know what it is.
Write it down. One sentence. What is the thing?
Then write the answer to this question. What is the very smallest action I could take on this today? Not tomorrow, today. Not the whole plan, just one move.
And do that one move. Even if it's just sending one email, making one phone call, speaking one sentence in English, writing the first line, opening the app.
One move. That's it. The thinking has had enough time. Now it's the action's turn.
And if you want to share your one thing and your one move, put it in the comments. We will read every single one, and we are genuinely proud of you for trying. Okay, word tour time. This is our favorite part of the episode, where we slow right down, collect the important words from today, and make sure they stay with you.
You can replay this section anytime. Repeat the words after us if you like. Let them settle into your English. Overthinking.
Thinking about something too much and too long, without taking action. Going in mental circles. I catch myself overthinking every big decision. Now I set a timer to stop the loop.
Spiral.
When your thoughts get darker and more anxious each time they go around, like falling in circles. One small worry turned into a spiral. By the end, I was imagining everything going wrong. Paralysis.
When fear or too many choices stops you from making any decision or taking any action. Having too many options caused paralysis. I couldn't choose, so I chose nothing.
Perfectionism. The habit of needing everything to be perfect before you start or share it. My perfectionism was stopping me from publishing anything. Nothing ever felt ready enough.
Worst case scenario.
Imagining the worst possible outcome of a situation, the most negative thing that could happen. I kept running worst case scenarios in my head, but none of them ever actually happened.
Clarity.
A clear, calm understanding of something, knowing what to do and why. I didn't find clarity by thinking more. I found it by taking the first step. Gut feeling.
An instinctive sense about something. A feeling in your body before your brain has reasons. My gut feeling said yes. I should have listened to it instead of overthinking for a week.
Commit.
To fully decide on something and follow through with it, without changing your mind. Once I committed to the decision, the anxiety disappeared. The thinking was the problem, not the choice.
Present. Being fully in the current moment, not distracted by thoughts of the past or future. Overthinking pulls you out of the present, and the present is where your real life is happening.
Opening move.
The very first small action you take to begin something. Not the full plan, just the first step. I stopped waiting to be ready and just made my opening move. Everything got easier from there. Before we finish, I want to say something to whoever is listening and recognizing themselves in this episode.
Go ahead.
Overthinking is not a character flaw. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It usually means you care deeply. You want to do things well. You don't want to make mistakes that hurt you or the people around you.
Those are good instincts. They just got a little too loud.
And the answer is not to stop thinking. The answer is to think enough and then move. To let your action teach you what your thinking never could.
Because the life you want, the English you want, the confidence you want, the things you want to build and try and experience, none of it lives inside the thinking loop.
It lives on the other side of the first move.
So make the move, even the small one, even the scared one, the imperfect, not ready, first pancake kind of move.
And then come back and tell us how it went. We want to hear everything.
Leave us a comment, like and subscribe if this helped you, and share it with someone you know who is stuck in the thinking loop right now.
This is Maya.
And this is Tom.
You have been listening to Speak English Out Loud. See you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye, everyone. And please, don't spend 45 minutes deciding what to eat tonight.
Toast is always an option.